in the world where girls had the powers and boys were powerless, and so they had to do the cleaning and other works, and the girls protected them from demons. Yuuki was a boy who wanted to be strong like the girl and have powers, but it was not possible for him to have, so he did it best in cleaning and making food and was best in that. As time passed, he started a job and was there regular. He had also lost his sister by demons and wanted to avenge her. He had powers. One day, while he was going home, suddenly he was in Mado, a dimension where demons attack and kill people. But then suddenly a girl from Demon Killing Force arrived and rescued him and took him with her. She was Kyoka, the commander of that area. Her partners were also there with her niece Shushu and Himari. Another boy was saved by them, but on the way there was a lot demons, so they parted away so they can be safe. As the boy woke up, he told that my sister is also missing, so then they went on to find her. Yuuki and Kyoka found the girl and went to rescue her. Kyoka was using the demons as her pet and controlling the creature. But she felt that it is not that powerful, but what can she do at that moment? Kyoka was all surrounded by the demon, but she had to do something fast, so she decided to make Yuuki her slave and use him as her pet, and so she asked him to touch her finger, and then Yuuki turned into a powerful super being, and then they both together killed every monster there. Her partners were watching it and were surprised. Kyuko then rewarded him with gratitude, and so she thought that if Yuuki will be on my side, I can be stronger and complete my targets easily and get promoted soon. So she asked him to work for her, and Yuuki thought of joining the force, and now he had a chance, so he accepted the offer. Then they had their base in the Mado covered with force field, and then Yuuki understand that he had be the slave of her and do the all-house work for them. But he had a chance to be strong, so he stayed. Yuuki was very much dedicated to his job, and he cleaned all the room and all the place in no time. And while he was cleaning the outside, he saw a demon out there trying to get in but cannot. Himari saw it and destroyed it in instants. Then they had dinner and everyone was surprised by the cooking skills of Yuuki, and they all chatted together. Himari was not so happy to have Yuuki in the house. Nothing could she do. Yuuki was also uncomfortable around a lot of girls, as he was never with any girls. He also gets could in some stuff, and Shushu tried to blackmail him and used him as her slave too. Kyoka and Himari were training, and they had to go for some meeting to headquarters, and he was left alone with Shushu, who wanted to take advantage of him. Then they both were alone at home, and he had to do some stuff for her as she was the boss there. But then a demon attacked the house, and Shushu used her powers and grew huge and tried to fight the demon alone. But when Yuuki saw him losing, he started running to find some belonging of Kyoka, so he can turn into the stronger version of him and save him, and finally he found some pair of shoes that helped him in changing, and he destroyed the monster then. Everyone had returned at that time, and Kyoka told them not to engage in any such fights or you all will die or get harmed. There was an enemy who was finding Yuuki as she got to know he was in Mado. Kyoka took Yuuki out of Mado in the real world, and Yuuki was really happy to get the fresh air. Shushu in the house was finding Yuuki so that she could take some work from him, but he was out. Kyoka was all changed out of her uniform, and she took Yuuki to the graveyard of the people who had died, and Kyoka was only a little girl, and a unihorn creature was left alive and running in Mado, and she had to kill him to avenge her loved one. Listening to the story, he remembered about her sister. Then on their way back, Yuuki asked her to let's eat some dessert, and she agreed as he was out after a long time. As they were having food, they had an alert, and they came back to the base running. They all then prepared to go to the place on which there were demons, and went on. They found a lot of demons there and started to fight against them. But then suddenly a huge blast came, injuring Shushu. It was the unihorn, and after looking at him, a girl was on him, using him as a pet, who was also the rogue demon force girl. She attacked them, but Yuuki was also powerful and injured her. Kyoka wanted to take her revenge to the unihorn, but it was not a great time for that. The team was down, and so they ran back so that they could save at that time. Kyoka then thought of her mistake. She was all blinded by the revenge thoughts. Later, Yuuki went to kitchen so he can prepare the dinner, and Ni helped him in preparing it. Later, Shushu and Yuuki were chilling, and suddenly Yuuki, while running to Himari's room, and disturbed her, and so she ran after him to kill him. But then some other force girl arrived there. Tenka and Yachiho had come and talked rash about them, and so Himari was angry as Yachiho was her sister, and because of her she had left her home before. Kyoka then challenged them in a 1vs1 challenge. Then they left the place. Himari then asked Kyoka to let her use the powers of Yuuki, and so she agreed and let Yuuki go with her to do the training. While they went out for training, Yuuki transformed into a different form as he was faster, but less strong than before. Then they both trained together and checked their skills together. When Yuuki turned back, Himari could not stop her to give the physical reward to Yuuki as it was in her deal. Then Himari told Yuuki that it is very important for her to defeat her sister, as she had never got a chance to defeat her, and she was blamed a lot for that, and she had left the house. Then they started the training again. Yuuki then saw an improvement in himself. Later they decided that they need a finishing move so that they can defeat her sister as she can stop the time. A lot of days were spending in the training, and they had gotten a lot stronger, and then the day came when it was the fight. Then every other member arrived to the base and settled there. This time Tenka, Yachiho, and Sahara had come there a team to fight against them. Then they all prepared the stadium in which they were going to fight. Jenna, a girl who came to be the referee between them. And so the fight started between Himari and her sister. Yuuki changed his form and Himari sat on his back to pet him and control him, and as the battle started he attacked Yachiho. But she used her powers and rewind 5 seconds. Again they attacked her, but his time from the sky and hit her, but she again rewinds the time. Then Yachiho tried to freeze the time, but they had already run out of her range to avoid her, and she was surprised that Himari had gotten stronger. Then they ran all around the stadium to avoid her, and Yachiho had nothing to do at that time, so she just fired at them, but nothing could happen. Yachiho then had a trump card, and she used 10 seconds of the freeze time, and this time they were caught in the field, and then Yachiho shot at them, and when the time was released they both got hit badly and wounded themselves. Himari had lost her hope, but then Yuuki stood up and heard that how much she wanted to take revenge, so she had to get up and attack her sister as she is exhausted all and can't use her powers again. Then Himari with all her powers left stood up and sat on Yuuki, and they both charged to her, but R equals she rewinds the time, and then she freezes the time again. But this time Yuuki came in front of Himari so Yachiho can't see her, and as the time passed Himari used her skill and shot Yachiho and got the first victory for the team. Jenna then healed everyone, and then Yuuki was the one who had held on and made Himari victorious. They both then went to the house to drink some water, and while going Yachiho asked Himari to come visit home, but she refused. As they both went to drink water, Himari thanked Yuuki with gratitude for helping her defeating her sister, as this was her dream. Shushu outside listening to them and was really happy too. Then it was time for the next battle and Sahara was the opponent. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.